I think it's going. If I always sound amazed that the video may or may not be going, it's because I have literally sat here poking at the button for the last 40 minutes trying to make it go. And, now it appears to be on instead of having to say, you don't have an internet connection or you need to restart the computer or Dropbox needs to do something all over your screen. And okay, I'm back. I'm just going to get going. Um, what I've decided to do today is same damn thing as last time, just to be new and different. Just going to do the same damn thing as last time. I've got a picture of somebody's head. And I'm just going to draw them. She's got her head not only tilted to the side but also leaning forward a little bit, which kind of shortens the features, the distance between the bottom of the nose and the top of the lip and the bottom of this lip and the bottom of her chin. It's going to be truncated a little bit because she's leaning forward. And I have some comments. It's alive. It's a pistachio, and technology is fun. Yes, I'm alive. That's a pistachio so far. I freaking hate technology. Stellar gave me her old computer. And, Stellar's wonderful. She's nice. She gave me her old computer. That's great. Um, but apparently, Stellar doesn't do much with pictures. And never noticed the whole time she had this machine that it just doesn't do pictures. It just doesn't handle them. And I can't understand why that would be. I mean, we've had computers going back into the mid 90s, which were, you know, a fraction of the power and ability of this one. And I've never had problems looking at pictures until I got this computer. And, I'll open a folder and I'll have 100 pictures in it, and it'll just take like literally an hour and a half just to load, just to open the folder. And then I'm to the point where I look at it and I go, oh, that's not the folder I wanted, because you got all the little thumbnail images. So I go, that's not what I wanted, and close it and take another hour and a half to open a different folder to see if the picture I'm looking for is in there, which means, I can't use it. I mean, it's just not even usable for that. So I got Photoshop, can't run it. I can't. It was very frustrating. Uh, I can do a little bit. It'll allow me to do a little bit, but 90% of what I want to do, it just won't play along. So I got that down in Vine Charcoal, wiped it off with my paper towel, as I often do. I've got a little, it's a little pencil stub holder that you can, when your pencils are down to almost nothing, or your little piece of chalk or something, it's down to almost nothing, you can still use it. So I'm just going to go back over my these lines, make them a little stronger. It's not essential at all to be as scratchy and scribbly as I am. Um, that's just me. A lot of people are very precise, and they would come in here and they would just, just in a very controlled fashion. That's not me. Maybe that should be me. I'll say something that is easy to take wrong, so take it right. Um, Somebody was talking to me not too long ago, but before the quarantine, um, talking about taking a class, and I said, I'm done. I'm done taking classes. I'm done learning. Is I'm at a point in my life where I'm all done learning. And what I mean by that, I do not mean that I know everything. You know, that's the part that can be taken wrong. It sounds like this egotistical prick thinks he knows it all. I do not think I know it all. But what I do think is that there comes a time in your life when what you got is what you got, and it better be good enough, because at some point you got to just go do the work, and just do the thing. And you'll probably learn things in the course of that. But I don't know. I think it's a trap that many uh, artists fall into, because there is no uh, structured path like there is in a lot of other jobs. I mean, it's not that any other jobs are easy, but in a lot of other jobs, there's a very uh, regimented way of going about your career. Uh, you've got school. You need a particular degree in order to do this job, and then you get that degree, and then you get hired, and there's an entry level position, and then you do so many things or prove yourself in such ways, you get a promotion, then you're doing something else, then you're doing something else. There's a structure to all of that, to moving through your life all the way up to retirement. And art is not like that. Um, even to whatever extent there are um, some institutions, such as galleries, or publication that might want to hire you for as an illustrator, say, or something like that. And they may have a general way that they do things, but it's not a clearly defined path. And so I think a lot of artists find themselves saying, well, before I try thus, I will do such. Okay, before I do this, I'll do that. Before I do this, I'll do that. And eventually that becomes this lifelong habit of simply throwing roadblocks and obstacles in front of yourself, saying, my career will start after I've taken this class. And then you go, okay, now there's nothing in between me and my career. Why isn't my career happening? Oh, you know what? I should go read this book, and so you read that book and then you go, okay, why don't I have a career now? Somewhere this little voice in the back of your head goes, why aren't I a professional now? Oh, you know what? I need to learn this other thing, and so you just kind of throw things in front of yourself your entire life until you die. And I see myself doing that. I see myself sometimes going, okay, I wanted to go out and do plein air painting. Just throw some supplies in the back of the car, get out and drive and do some plein air painting. And there's really nothing to stop me from doing that. Got a car, got some supplies, could go do that. Oh, well, I better read some books about it. Oh, well, I better go watch some videos about it. Oh, that guy's got this kind of a setup, really fancy easel for doing stuff like that. I need one of those easels. It's going to cost a bit. I better do something to earn some money, to have some money to go buy that thing. And after a while, you catch yourself and you realize, I'm not trying to get myself to a goal. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to put more things in my path so that I never get where I presumably want to be going. So I decided I'm done learning. And the rest of my life is going to be doing. And then quarantine happened. I don't know. It's possible I could go plein air painting, and if somebody questioned me, I could just go, this is how I make my living, man. It's my job. Um, I can do that as long as I stay away from people. That would be the challenging thing. People feel very compelled to come up and see what you're doing if you're doing artwork out in public. The gal in the photograph is not bald. I just haven't drawn the hair yet. By doing, you are learning. One hopes. But you know what? Even if you don't, I think at this point, it's more important to go do the doing. And OJT? I don't know what that is, Jason. Um, yeah, but I think the doing is more important. If I don't learn another damn thing for the rest of my life, that's okay. I could do a lot of artwork at the level that I'm at, and it would be okay. Some people like it. So that's what I need to be doing. I'm done learning. we had a model in our life drawing group who did shave her head, and I just realized that I just drew her, even though my model over there is somebody else entirely. Um, yeah, this looks a lot like her. There's been lots of comments while I was on the job training. Okay, all right, good enough. Well, I can't write books and I can't do music, Russ. So you're ahead of me in my opinion. Yeah, writing music is an art. See, this makes me wish we could do a Zoom. We should do a Zoom meeting. I've got a Zoom account now, just in time for Zoom to be in all kinds of trouble. I guess that they're constantly in the news and they're being in trouble. Um, yeah, yeah, going out in the summer sun and sweating my ass off for my art. If I get to suffer for my art, I think that's the way I want to do it. But we could do Zoom. Somebody mentioned yesterday, and they were serious. I I thought it was just a funny idea at first, but they really want me to do it. Was a one of those drink wine and do art things, uh, only to do it online. Um, and I don't really quite know how you'd set that up, but that sounds entertaining. Um, I usually drink wine and fall asleep, so I don't know what my art would be like. Uh, it might be a live video of the back of my head as I snore. I'm leaning against my easel. I didn't drink alcohol growing up. We went to church instead, and so I only, you know, within the last 10 years really, uh, have ever drank anything at all, and started drinking wine. I really like wine, love the taste of it. the sweeter stuff. I'm into everything sweet, so I drink Moscato, which I know some people say isn't really wine, but I like it. Anyway, it knocked me unconscious, so you will not find me drinking wine at the bar or at a party, or unless it's at my house. Monks invented beer. Yeah, drink grape juice and have the wine afterwards. And see, that's probably what I would do. I'll have some sparkling. What's that stuff? Martinelli's stuff. Some gin and Gilead. I like it. I like it. Okay, cool. Is there such a thing as strawberry wine? I want to try that if there is such a thing. I've never had any of that. I'd like to try that. And I am also 16, at least. Question is this the right way to block in her hair? And the answer is, we will know by the end of this video. I don't know. Might just suck. So far, it kind of sucks. Boone's Farms. Boone's Farms. When I was a kid, I would walk around all the party spots around Prescott, and I'd pick up aluminum cans and stuff like that. And I found a big Boone's Farm jug, clear glass jug, and it had a little bit of pink wine down in the bottom. And I guess it had been there a while, and some mold had grown on it, but the mold was bubblegum pink, and it was this little fairy forest of big, like big curly shaped shapes and mushrooms and things. It was just the wildest thing. And I got down there and I tried to pick it up, and it just went it just went flat. But it was the coolest looking thing in the world. And of course, I didn't have any kind of camera back then, so there was no taking a picture of it. But it was really neat. So try that. Get some Boone's Farm and drink all but a little bit of it and leave it out in the yard, see what happens. You never knew what you would find out in the woods outside of Prescott. Crazy stuff. Like me, for one thing. Leaving fruit flavored wine out may attract the pixies. It looked like the kind of place, if you'd ever think there's got to be a pixie around here somewhere, that little world inside that wine bottle looked like it would have to have a pixie. um, Another cool thing I found out in the woods, and this was like in the middle of nowhere. I cut across country from one road to try to join up with another road, and I was out in the middle of the forest in nowhere. And I looked down, and there was not a very big tree, but there was a tree, and it had a little hollow space at the base of the tree. And there was something bright pink about that big down in the little hollow, and I thought it was some bizarre mushroom or something. And I was trying to reach in there and get it, and I couldn't get it. So I got a stick or something, and I was kind of reaching back there to see if I could break it loose, and it broke loose, and it rolled towards me. And as it was rolling, I realized it had an Easter bunny painted on the side of it, and then it broke apart. And somebody had an Easter egg hunt, I guess, in the middle of the forest, and years previous. And when that thing broke apart, it created a smell like nothing I have ever experienced in my life. It was an astounding smell, and the inside of that egg was the grossest. It was like green. I mean, you couldn't do worse in a horror film. It was just really, really disgusting. It's so bizarre. It's just so random. It's like last thing I expected was an Easter egg. Sulfur bomb. Yeah, it was sulfurish, but it was worse than that. It was amazing. Sometimes people ask questions like, "Where do ideas come from?" And uh, this was triggered by mentioning of an Easter egg at all. Um, I was walking one day, like the day after Easter, um, and there were two women walking along, and they were having a conversation. And one of them was telling an animated story, and the other one was going, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" And she said, "I know, it was just a horrible place to have an Easter egg hunt." And that's all I know of that story. That's 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 my entire knowledge. And God, I've always wanted to know the rest of that, because what would constitute a horrible place for an Easter egg hunt? I was thinking, what was it, in a cemetery, or you know, a butcher's, or what? I don't know, but I, it seems to me like you could write a horror story. That could be like a contest. Get a bunch of writers and artists together and say, this is your theme, a horrible place for an Easter egg. I've got two pictures here that I'm looking at. Um, One's got a sort of quasi-Egyptian costume on, and the other one's the girl that was in the pose that I drew. And I'm trying to combine the two together. I don't know how successfully we're doing that, but that was my aim. But she's got these long chain earrings with these big beads on the end. Got to be careful. Her head's tilted, so these need to hang down further. Well, the place I found the egg was a nice place. I mean, it was just in the middle of the forest. It wasn't a horrible place. I've had images, when I've thought about how to do that. I was, you know, like a really, really scary basement, or like you see in movies, like the basement of an abandoned hotel or something, and it's all full of rusty bed springs and barbed wire and wooden crates that are going to fall apart, but they've got eggs poised in there, broken glass. You know, nice. It's probably a good thing I never had kids when you think about it. Red caps are that's another pixie kind of thing, right? A leprechaun type of thing. I have a book over there. Brian Froud and Alan Lee made basically a field guide to fairies. When I was a teenager, I asked for that book for my birthday, confirming my dad's lifelong belief that I was gay. But I got the book. Really liked it. Still have it. This is a completely different paper than what I was using yesterday. So all these effects with the light and the dark are not quite as cool because that was a dark brown paper. Worked out really nice. It is a good paper. It's an art paper. It's not newsprint. But I haven't used it before, so I don't know what to expect. Little fairies that murder people and soak their hats in blood. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think in ancient times, words like fairy, elf, goblin, troll, hobgoblin, they all more or less meant the same thing. It was just a regional difference. Um, and now, in our modern predisposition to say, well, it's a different word, so it's going to be a different critter, and we created a monster manual for all of these different things. But it's pretty clear from reading the old fairy tales and everything that somebody will talk about a dwarf, and then they'll, in the next paragraph, they'll say, and then the goblin said, or something, and so he's a dwarf and a goblin apparently, and so I think all those words meant the same thing. I don't know what this is. I'm making this part up. The girl over there is just wearing a costume jewelry thing, chain. I want to make mine a little bit more and more. I have to scroll this thing because the comments, yeah, they keep building up, but they're down below, and I have to scroll it up, or I'm just looking at old comments. And where are we? How we doing? How long's it been? Are you bored? Are you gone? I don't know how long it's been. Um, I've been clicking on the little button that says use the old version of Facebook Live, and then they run you through a little rigmarole answering questions like why don't you want to use the new one, and then you submit an answer, and it sent me around and around circles a few times, and it wouldn't load the old one at all, and then So I said, okay, I'll just use the new one, and then it wouldn't load that at all. So I finally just took what I could get, but the new one is actually clunkier than the old one. That I don't understand that, or I'm using it entirely wrong. 45 minutes. There's a time thing. Yep, it's counting. 45 minutes. I've been doing this for 45 minutes, um, which means you're all bored and you've all fallen asleep, even though you haven't had anything to drink. So maybe we'll do the drink and draw uh, idea at some point, if I figure out a mechanism for doing that. Um, but I do have Zoom. I could Zoom a bunch of people in, up to 100 people, and there's not going to be 100 people, so we could do that. And apart from that, who says we haven't been drinking? Oh, well, see, you're still responding, and so I assume you haven't been drinking, because if I'd been drinking for the last 45 minutes, I'd be snoring. And so, but I'm not everybody else. But I am going to quit. I am going to quit and go do something responsible. Audrey Rose, thank you. Did you just tune in? Because I'm just tuning out. That makes me feel bad. I feel bad. Yes, Zoom. I agree. I think maybe Zoom would work. Um, Stellar uses it for her work, and I've looked over her shoulder a couple times and seen how that goes, and I think I think that would work. Um, so thank you, Sharon. So yeah, I could just have everybody get some paper and pencil, and I don't know how I'd put a model on the screen, like we're going to draw this. Um, Okie doke. Audrey Rose. Hey, Audrey, do you remember drawing the big octopus elephant with tentacles on Grandma's? We had my drawing pad down on the floor at Grandma's house a couple of years ago. But yeah, we drew that. Um, I don't know if I have it or you took it or something, but it was an interesting picture. I started drawing and you grabbed a pen and started drawing something else, and I tried to turn it into something, and golly, it just kept changing. So it turned into well, it was pretty interesting. So anyhow, um, if a live model joined the session, we'd already be able to see it. Well, that's true. That's true. Or another interesting idea is I could set up another laptop, because we have actually several around. I could set up another laptop and point its camera at a picture. Sounds a little retarded, but maybe I could do it. Display a portion of your screen. Yeah, because you can share. Yeah, like I could share my Facebook page or something with you, so you could all look at that, or I could share. Um, yes, there's a way to do that. I'm not quite sure. I'm halfway. My brain's halfway there. So yeah, we'll come up with something. And anyway, I really am going to go. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your input. We'll do a drink and draw thing sometime soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday or Sunday. All right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.